Hello everyone, in this video, we discussed full movie recap of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, released in 2022. If you end up enjoying this video and want to see more from us, then make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to know anytime we upload a new video. Which ended up being an even bigger hit with audiences of this film, bringing in $405 million worldwide at the box office, over $100 million more than the previous installment, and ranking 14th in the highest-grossing movies of 2022. So, let's start the video. Continuing on today with our rundown of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The movie opens on the Eggman Dr. Robotnik's 243rd day on the Mushroom Planet, as he's now finally ready to execute his plan of escape, which sees him creating an energy beacon, using components from his destroyed egg pod and Sonic's quill in hopes that someone will come to investigate the signal. And eventually that night, he's met by a group of alien scavengers arriving through a ring portal, each of whom are quickly taken out by the Doctor before he attempts to make his long-awaited escape through their portal. But he's instead suddenly stopped in his tracks by a red echidna of the tribe that presumably killed Sonic's adopted mother, Longclaw, named Knuckles, who questions where Robotnik found the quill, and he reveals that he'd obtained it from Sonic on Earth, to which he also offers to show Knuckles the way. Speaking of Earth, we're next dropped in Seattle, where we see Sonic in the midst of intercepting a group of bank robbers who'd hijacked an armored truck, and although he eventually manages to stop them, his pursuit also leaves an entire block destroyed. Sonic's not too worried about the damage he'd inadvertently caused, though, and declares this city to have been saved by Blue Justice. The following day, back in Green Hills, Tom quickly becomes aware of Sonic's nighttime escapade via the newspaper, and so confronts Sonic about the destruction he'd caused, scolding him for being reckless and putting people in danger, which Sonic doesn't appreciate, feeling as though he did the right thing and that he can take care of himself. Moving on to the next day now, as Tom and Maddie prepare to head off for a trip to Hawaii to attend Maddie's sister Rachel's wedding with her fiancé Randall. And for this trip, rather than having to take a plane, Sonic uses a ring portal to get them there, and also gives them a ring so they can travel back home. Immediately following their exit, Sonic takes full advantage of having the house to himself, partying all throughout along with their dog Ozzy, until his fun is suddenly interrupted by the return of Dr. Robotnik at his doorstep, now more powerful than ever with Knuckles by his side, who promptly unleashes an attack on Sonic, pummeling him repeatedly into the ground whilst demanding to know where he'd hidden the ultimate power, which leaves Sonic confused, claiming he's got the wrong guy. But still, Knuckles looks to land a fatal blow until he's fortunately stopped by a cop car crashing directly into him, driven by a yellow two-tailed fox named Tails, who we saw previously arriving in Green Hills, hoping to warn Sonic of Knuckles' arrival, and who now scoots him up and helps him escape from the two villains. Once they're off their trail, Tails reveals who Knuckles is to Sonic, explaining that he's the last of the echidnas and the most dangerous warrior in the galaxy, obsessed with finding the Master Emerald, an unstoppable weapon capable of turning thoughts into reality. Sonic decides to hide out with Tails at Wade Whipple's house, and there, he remembers seeing an emerald symbol on the map Longclaw gave him when he was a boy. So he opens it up to take a look, causing the map to suddenly begin glowing as a hologram of Longclaw emerges from it, in which she explains that protecting the emerald was her sacred duty that she must now pass on to Sonic, and reveals that she's hidden the emerald on Earth, which they must follow the map in order to find. So Sonic and Tails begin their quest to find the emerald, starting in Siberia, where the map says they'll find a compass that'll lead them to it, but they're quickly forced to take a break mid-trip due to a powerful snowstorm. Once the storms cleared up the following day, the two head back out on their quest and eventually find the location and gain possession of the compass. Although before they can use it to find the emerald itself, they are attacked once again by Robotnik and Knuckles, with the former chasing after them with his weaponized drones, before Knuckles manages to knock Sonic out of the air and takes this opportunity to blame Sonic for him having lost everything. Sonic sympathizes with Knuckles and claims they both lost everything that day, causing Knuckles to let his guard down and allowing Tails to shoot him with electric wire ropes, an attack that Knuckles perceives as a betrayal of his trust by Sonic. But Sonic insists he wasn't trying to trick him. Still, Knuckles prepares to attack, so Sonic attempts to throw the compass to Tails so he can escape with it. But it's instead intercepted by Robotnik, who then shoots a rocket at Tails that sends him crashing to the ground and knocks him unconscious. Robotnik and Knuckles then escape as Sonic attempts to resuscitate Tails, but that's interrupted when an avalanche occurs, forcing Sonic to scoop Tails up, and with no other way to escape, call Tom in the middle of Rachel and Randall's wedding ceremony so that he can open a portal using the ring he'd given him earlier and help them avoid being engulfed. After trying to run him over though, he's able to stop any further attack by apologizing for deceiving her and revealing that he truly has fallen in love with her. So the two make amends and share a kiss. Back to Sonic now, who with Tails still knocked unconscious, decides to go off on his own to intercept Robotnik and Knuckles before they can claim the Master Emerald. And upon encountering them once again, he engages in yet another brawl with Knuckles, which inadvertently gives Robotnik the perfect opportunity to betray his partner and claim the power of the Emerald for himself, before then using its power to teleport back to Green Hills as the labyrinth, where the Emerald had been. Kep begins collapsing and flooding with water, leaving Knuckles trapped beneath the column and nearly drowning to death. But he's fortunately saved by Sonic, who once having freed Knuckles, then nearly also drowns as well due to him not being able to swim. But Knuckles immediately returns the favor and brings him back up to the surface with him. When Sonic regains consciousness, Knuckles asks how, after losing everything and failing over and over again, did he remain hopeful and free? And Sonic says it's thanks to him having found a new family and new friends, and he urges Knuckles to try and do the same. The two are then joined and picked up by Tails, who flies them over to Green Hills and brings them before Robotnik's giant Eggman robot, created using the Emerald, and the three decide to work together to take him down. Despite their best efforts though, they struggle greatly to overpower Robotnik and his creation, with Sonic being sent crashing to the ground by a snot rocket blast. But eventually, Tails and Knuckles manage to break into the giant robot, and after a distraction by Tails that sees him creating multiple holograms of himself, Knuckles is able to punch the Emerald out of Eggman, which in turn results in the giant robot crashing to the ground along with the Emerald. A heavily injured Sonic then crawls his way over to the Emerald, but although gaining possession of it, he's unable to activate its power for himself, as it suddenly shatters, leaving the 7 Chaos Emeralds separated once again. Just as Robotnik goes to crush Sonic, Tom and Maddie, the Chaos Emerald transforms Sonic into Super Sonic, changing him into a golden color with immense strength and the ability to fly. Sonic then confronts Robotnik and his death robot one final time, this time easily defending against any attacks and piercing multiple holes through the death robot, saving the day and defeating Robotnik, who tumbles with the Egg Smasher. Following the victory, Sonic meets back up with Tom, Maddie, Tails, and Knuckles, and decides to relinquish his new power and return to his original form, feeling that he still has some growing up to do and for now just wants to continue being a kid. So Knuckles reforms the Master Emerald, which Tails and Sonic suggest they use to start a new order of heroes to protect the galaxy from those who would use the Emerald for evil, to which Knuckles agrees, with the three sharing a power bump and promising to keep the universe safe and to watch out for each other. We then move ahead to the following day as the three heroes, Tom and Maddie, take part in a baseball game, which quickly comes to an end when Knuckles punches the ball completely out of the field. And so the movie ends with him heading off for some celebratory ice cream. In a mid-credits scene, we meet back up with Commander Walters, who's no longer seeking to capture Sonic or his friends as he and other gun agents search amongst the ruins of the giant Eggman robot and are unable to find any sign of Dr. Robotnik. Although Walters isn't worried about that, believing no one could have survived that fall. But that may not be the case, as we see Agent Stone mysteriously disguised as a gun soldier. Walters is then informed by his agent that when removing Robotnik from their databases, it found a file buried deep in their system dating back over 50 years, containing coordinates to a secret research facility that Walters recognizes as Project Shadow, and were then taken to this remote facility as a black and red hedgehog awakens. And that was our recap of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful in any way, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And also, let us know in the comments below which of the first 2 Sonic films you like best, and how excited you are for the release of Knuckles in Sonic 3. But once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.